Alright guys, we are going to do a video real quick on pretty much how to effectively go through a blood web. We just prestiged Jake to 3, got him level 1, have 1,000,000 blood points to spend. So the blood web is made up of multiple rings that actually intersect with themselves through a bunch of chains, or a web. It starts in the center, and then you have the inner ring, the middle ring, the outer ring, and then if you see, there's actually points on this ring here. Now, for the first 10 levels, the blood web will not fight back. So you're forced to get every single thing in every single web up to level 10. So let me get up to level 10 for you guys real quick, and I'll explain why. So most of you know, if you've leveled up in Dead by Daylight at all, level 10 is when the blood web starts fighting back, or taking over different nodes in the web, in order to make you have to decide what to take, what not to take, that kind of stuff, and also makes the web a little cheaper. So level 9 we get everything. Now level 10 is when it starts fighting back, because that's your first time you see 2 perks. They'll usually be on the outer edges. And whenever you get 2 perks, the entity will automatically take the perk you don't get. Now, to do this effectively, to level up as fast as possible, you want to make each web as cheap as possible. So in this case, we have a 3,000 and a 5,000. That's the most obvious. It's 8,000 points. It's only 2 steps. Most perks are going to be 3 steps. In this case, it's here, here, and here, or here, here, and here. And as soon as we're going to take this one just because it's the cheapest, and then we'll go from there. So level 11, the entity will make its presence known, but it will not take anything from the web. So this web, you have to get everything as well. As soon as we hit this, you'll see the entity show up. Hear that? All right, level 12, the entity really starts fighting back. You don't get 2 perks, but it'll start taking whatever is the furthest away from the center, right? So it'll start taking it in about 4 steps, I believe. Wait. No, it'll take the last one, so 6 steps. Whatever's left. So we'll go here. Grab that. See, after 5 steps, you see it spawns. And since there's only 7 things here, it'll just take what we leave. Again, we're going for efficiency here, so we're going to go for cheap. We'll take the brown, and it'll take the purple styptic. Alright, so this carries on for several levels. So again, we're going to get the cheap, and have it take the expensive. Now, if you're after specific things that are expensive, go for it. I'm not. I like cheap. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 entity spawns. Now, in this case, we have more things than just 1 to leave, right? Level 14. It's going to take the thing furthest away from the center. Now, obviously, I stayed near the center, or I went for far away things. It's going to take this next. No matter what I take, it's going to take this. A lot of people think the web goes for the most expensive thing. It doesn't. It goes for the thing furthest away from the center. So knowing that... Oh, also every 5-10 levels you get 2 perks up until you get to level 25, I believe, and then you always get 2 perks. So now we have 2 perks, so we have to figure out which route's cheaper, right? So this is 3,000, 4,000, 5,000. So this is 12,000 points. And because it has a chain, as soon as the entity comes here, it'll take that. So I'm going to take that in consideration. That's 17,000 points total. 3,000, 6,000, 4,000, that's 13, plus another 5, that's 15,000. This one, again, is 17. So this one would actually be cheaper, or this one would be more expensive to take. Even though this one has a purple, it has 2 greens. I'm doing my math wrong, hold on. That doesn't make sense. This one should be more expensive. 10, 17, 11, 15. All right, 18. Okay, I was right. I'm like, that doesn't make sense. I was gonna go this way because this looks more expensive. Okay, so this one's cheaper, this one's more expensive. So we're gonna go take Sprint Burst. Grab the cake. Now, again, since it's gonna take the furthest thing, as soon as you block it, it'll go to the furthest thing. So it's gonna grab this battery. I'm gonna block this yellow. So it's gonna jump to this long life battery, and then we'll grab the brown. See, this is pretty expensive. Now, if you're being really cheap, you would just want to skip the perk altogether. Since we're Prestige 3, I'm gonna grab the perk here. We're going to take this path, grab the flashlight. So as long as you stay within the center of the circle or get the cheap things on the outside of the web, then you should be fine. Gonna grab the cake. I can't get it, so we'll skip that. Alright, so we're gonna keep putting points in. I'm gonna do it pretty quick, just so I don't waste your time. Now, here's one interesting thing. There's two routes here, right? Going this route, brown, brown, green, is cheaper because that's only 11,000. If I go yellow, brown, green, that's going to be 12,000. So that's more expensive. However, since these two are the furthest away from the center, it's going to start here and then work up. And then as soon as it gets here, it's going to cut off the other branch. So I'm actually going to go this route and take these three. Okay, we didn't have enough for it to take that, so now we just got to go down the brown. But it still took these three right here, which is still the cheapest route you could take. Now that we're level 20, it has 2 perks to choose from. This is super expensive, I can tell, and we have a nice cake right here. So we're going to come down this way, grab that, cut it off right here so it takes that route. Move over here, takes the filament. It's going to take this flashlight, and then we move to the yellow box. Alright, so again, since we're not at a 0 or a 5 level, we're back to 1 perk. Come down this way. It's going to take this light bulb right here. So we'll cut that off. Take the toolbox. Alright, so the cheap route would be just to skip this perk altogether because it'll take all of this and we can just take this stuff down here. But again... Alright, now this is where it's interesting. You see 2 things on this outer ring. I want to force it to take the shroud, so I'm going to take that, and then we're going to go this way. So we still made it cheap, but not as cheap as it could have been. I was going to have it take that branch, but I cut it off so it would take the green and the yellow, because again, we like cheap. It's gonna take the... I'm gonna hit here. See, this one's kind of tricky because they're all kind of on the same line. So it's gonna be between here and here. Alright, it's gonna take that. Cake's safe for now. So I'm keeping things cheap. Alright, let's finish this up. 25, we're at 2 perks. Now that we're at 25, it's gonna be 2 perks every single time. I'm going to take this route just because it's going to block this. It's going to take all that, and then it'll skip down to here. I should have blocked it off right there. That was a little expensive on my part. That was a little mess up. My bad. 3, 6, 9, 14, 3, 8, 12. All right, so this route's cheaper. Alright, as we continue on, still 2 perks. This route's going to be more expensive, and if we take both of these, it'll jump over to here. Alright, so as you see, we're getting 2 perks every single time, like I said. You don't start getting 3 perks until once you hit level 40, you start getting 3 perks on each web, and then 50, you get 4 perks on each web. So we're gonna get into 30 real quick. Yeah, this entire side's real cheap. Force it to come down there. Made that a nice cheap web. I wish it started giving 3 perks on 30, but unfortunately that's not the way. So even though this looks cheaper because you have all this up here, you can actually cut up here and make it really cheap, because it's going to force here and then take the key, and then we can take the brown box, which usually right now is an event item. Comes up there. It's going to take that, so should be good here, and then we lose those 2 greens. So that's just how you do some efficiency on blood webs. You have to just figure out what's the furthest away from the center, and then use your go through your blood web accordingly. Now, it might not be the most expensive thing, so keep an eye out for that. Yeah, that's real expensive. I want to come down here, so it, see, this takes that entire line out. Now, as soon as I take this, these 2 are tied. So it's probably going to take that, because it's just going to jump up here. So yeah, it's not completely random. A lot of people think it's completely random. It's really not. So I'm going to take this line and then come here and then go up this way, because it's going to take that and then shut that off. Now, if I grab this, it's going to come up here, but I have nothing else to take, so unfortunately that's a little expensive. But other than that, it's not too terrible. Do I do the DS? I mean, I'm going to get everything else anyway, so this line's cheap. I'm going cheap. We can cut this off to force it to take the hand, and then we'll take the yellow to grab the book, because nobody uses cookbook offering. Cookbook offering's useless. All right, we're at 35. 5 more levels, and we'll start getting 3 perks. This is actually a unique situation. If you cut off these 2 lines, it'll take this entire upper side, but we're not going to do that. We're going to go cheap. Come up that way, cut that off. Come down here. Now it's going to take probably this guy, but it might jump here. Yeah, I thought so. So we'll cut that off, have it take that, and then we'll use a shroud. Also, for those who don't know, you can do quick webs by, as long as you hold on the mouse at least. I don't know if this works for console, because I haven't played console, but as long as you hold the mouse 1 on it, it'll let you move. It'll continue to fill up the circle, and you can move your mouse to the next one, so you go really quick. Especially works with boxes too. So as long as you're continually holding your mouse 1, it'll let you move to the next side. Oh, this is a really good web. So yeah, if you want to know how people go through webs real quick, like if I wasn't thinking, I was just going through things, I would just do stuff like this. I wasn't really thinking, so I made it a little expensive, but I wanted to show you a box to show you how you can open it as you're moving through. But all right, so that's our million. We got to 39. But yeah, hopefully that helped you guys understand how the blood web works and how it is not random what it picks. It is very specific in what it picks, and how you can counter it to get exactly the nodes that you want on the blood web. Thank you guys for watching, and stay safe out there in the fog, guys.